Hey, I'm the Netherrealm Nobody, and this is the Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, Episode 6, Familiar Red review. There's got probably be an easier way to say all that, but I haven't figured it out yet, and I'm already mid-show at this point, so we're going to keep going this route with it. Alright, so episode 6, this is Familiar Red, and the basic plot here is Kano has a new army, and he's coming after the Defenders. So, we kick things off with, we got Tarkatans, or sorry, Nomads, as they're called on this show. We're in the middle of a fight, lots of action, get bicycle kick and all kinds of cool stuff. And while they're fighting, there's another rift, and it's over in Egypt. And so, right off the bat, he's like, I need you guys to go, take care of this. They're like, hey, we're kind of busy with this. So they end up, breaking apart. And I think it's Liu Kang and Katana and Katana stays behind. No, she goes with him, yeah. Liu Kang, Katana, and I don't know, there's a couple others, but they end up flying out to, to Egypt or whatever. And before they get there, we see a rift, the portal open up, and we see a figure step through, and then you see Shao Kahn, and he hands like this briefcase looking thing over with like a big red jewel button on top, and he literally, like at first it seemed ridiculous. He's like, here, he goes, you know what to do with this, and then like all the guy does is like put it on the ground, like right there where the rift was, and it just like burrows itself down. I'm like, Khan, could you not have done that? But we do go underground, and inside the pyramid, you see this little briefcase thing that's now sprouted arms. He's digging his way through. A sliding door opens up, and Kano's down there. And we realize he was the one that, Shao Kahn sent into this world. So, our defenders get there in Egypt, and there's no sign of anybody. And like right off the bat, they're getting shitty with Nightwolf, and they're like, "It's you, like you screwed it up again." And it's like this is the first time this has happened at all. And then a rift goes off. And this time it's in Tibet, and so they head out there, and granted, there's nothing there, but they're already like getting, especially Sonya, running her mouth like her and Stryker are like the main two offenders, and they're just fucking running their mouth to Nightwolf. They're like, you screwed it up again. It's just like, this is like the second time it's happened. And the first time, not all you guys were dragged out there. Like, granted, yeah, you had to stay behind and fight the Nomads or whatever, but it's like, what do you want from this guy? You have been following these, rifts, and it's always been something. And then this, like, one time, it doesn't. And then you guys are like, what? And then you guys get all shit. It's like, what? I don't know. They get really shitty for no freaking reason, right? And then, like, right off the bat, he's like, well, you're running this ragged. It's like, yeah, but there's been armies invading the entire time. Like, there's always a reason to go. But they're blaming Nightwolf like it's his fault. And it's like, you gotta go where the rifts are at. Like, I don't know. Again, I know it's a cartoon aimed at kids, but I'm using adult logic. I'm like, shut your mouth and do your goddamn job, So anyways, they go to bed. There's nothing there. They're pissed off. Then it's, like Australia, same thing. And so, at this point, Nightwolf's starting to doubt himself. And the whole time, you're seeing it's Kano is literally just making him run to these different places as he's, doing it. And so, Nightwolf's starting to question himself. And he decides, at this point, he sends them all off. I think they go to Brazil, maybe? I don't remember. He sends them somewhere. But even Raiden, when he's talking to Raiden, he's like, am I losing it? And of course, Raiden's like, listen, you're getting too dependent on all this technology. You're a shaman. Use what's in here and up here. And so Nightwolf decides, hey, watch the command center. I'm going to go to Egypt, check it out myself. And he goes to Egypt, him and Kiva. And they end up digging up, like, this, I don't know what it was, like a little metal scrap thing that had the Black Dragon symbol. And it's like, why is that even there? Like, did it fall off the briefcase? Did Kano literally just bury it in the sand? Like, I'm marking this terrible. Like, I don't know what it came off of, but he finds it. And so he goes back to, the base, and right off the bat, again, Stryker and Sonya just cunting it up, and they're just running his shit. And he goes, listen, I found something. And he holds up the Black Dragon thing, and Sonya instantly, gets all depressed. And we know why. Seems like every other episode, I got an episode where my mask is fucking, there we go. Okay. So, Sonya's upset, and of course we get the backstory. And turns out she had a partner named Wexler. Anyways, old Wexy, he is her partner, and what happened is Sonya comes back, I guess getting donuts or whatever, and then, of course, the room's destroyed, and there's the Black Dragon symbol, and then basically there's a time bomb. Time's up, baby is what it says. And she jumps out the window, she's yelling out, Wexler, if you're in here, get out. She jumps out, explosion, and it turns out, and of course, Kano's there watching from the outside. Now, you should note that before she jumps out the window, there's a file, and you see Kano with hair, which was kind of like, from the movie, and I think he had hair in the first game? No, maybe he didn't. Maybe he was bald in the first game. He was bald in the first game, but they gave him hair in the movie, right? So, when she looks up, she sees Kano standing there on the street. He's in his MK3 outfit, and he's bald. So, and I'm just bringing that up because, there's some continuity coming here for a second. So, anyways, he disappears. Of course, the cops show up, she's getting, treated. Because she went through the window, she goes onto the awning, but then she just, falls through the awning. So, it's like, she hit ground pretty hard. And, of course, she asks, what happened to Wexler, and, of course, the captain's dead. They're killing people. That's the game. Everyone keeps talking this kid's cartoon wasn't violent. We knew he had some fight scenes. Dude, the fight scene with the Tarkatans, the Nomads. Jax kills one. Dude throws a bear hug on one of the, Tarkatans and just squeezes. We hear bone snap, and then Tarkatan just goes limp. He didn't pass out. Dude, that dude's dead. That's all there is to it. They killed him on this Saturday morning cartoon that everyone else is it wasn't violent enough. Eat a dick. Anyway, so Wexler's dead. I do like that we give him a name. He's always just, called a partner in the past. I know in the Mortal Kombat Malibu Comics comic, that they had some little excerpts in the actual introduction booklet or the instructional booklet for the first Mortal Kombat game. I want to say one of them was called Sparky. And maybe Brian or James or something like that. They had a regular name, but they did drop some of the Special Forces names in there. But of course, they wind up dead or whatever. And so I don't know. I really wish they would have kind of brought back Sparky, I guess, would have been their partner instead of Wexler, but whatever. So anyways, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember reading at one point, Wexler was actually one of the guys who worked on the cartoon. He was one of the drawers, maybe, or something like that, or a producer. But either way, Wexler's an actual guy, so they just kind of honored him, I guess. So I thought that's cool, I guess. But anyway, so it cuts to the movie Mortal Kombat, where she tracks Kano down to the tournament and fights him. And it looks like the movie, and Kano has hair. And I'm like, all right, did he grow his hair out, I guess, for the tournament? And then, it doesn't show her killing him like she does in the movie. She just kind of flips him over, and that's it. But then Katana drops a line it looks like Shao Kahn or a certain emperor must have helped him, avoid death or whatever. So I guess they're just implying, if it is connected to the movie continuity-wise, that he was resurrected by Kahn. I don't know. Or maybe he had a spell on him where he couldn't die or whatever. But either way, Kano's back. And of course, Sonya's upset. So apparently Kano just shaved his head again and then put on his MK3 outfit. And he's ready to rock and roll, baby. So anyways, the rift happens, and of course, they're already pretty skeptical. And so Nightwolf's listen, I'm going to break us up. I'll send half the team to check out the rift, but the other half comes with me to Egypt. And so basically he sends Liu Kang, Katana, and Stryker to check out the rift, and then him, Jax, Sub-Zero, and Sonya go to Egypt. I did notice here, I haven't done a side-by-side. If anybody knows this, please do it for me, because I don't have the time to do this research. But it looks like every time they get in the combat jets, they literally, I think they're just reusing the same animation every time. Because at one point, it shows the 3 fighter jets leaving when they go to check out the first Egyptian rift. But it's you just left the other 3 back there. Like, did y'all have to take the jet yourself? Like, what the hell? Like, I guess Raiden portaled them back or whatever, teleported them back or whatever, but still, it's like, damn. And I think the reason they did that was because they already had the animation drew up for 3 jets leaving and 3 jets swimming and all that stuff, so they're like, screw it, we'll just keep reusing it. So, anyways, I digress. But it does look like every time we get the footage, it's the same footage from last time, which I know it's standard animation, whatever, but, I'm noticing it. So, we get to Egypt, and right off the bat, Sonya's just being a bitch, and she's just like, I knew there was nothing here, you're wrong, can't you just admit you're wrong? But Nightwolf notices that on the side of the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, there's like a button that has the dragon emblem on it. And they're clearly standing on a big rectangle, so they go up to it, they push it, and sure enough, it drops out, and they all slide down. So right off the bat, they see all the torches lit up, so they know, okay, someone's here. And so they're like, all right, let's split up and try to find out what's going on. And then our bet, Sonya's just like, well, I'm going with Nightwolf. Like, now she's completely on his nuts. So they, Nightwolf, Sonya, and Kiva go one way. Jax and would be Sub-Zero go the other. And so anyways, they instantly run into mummies. We got mummies. But these mummies are weak as shit. Like, one punch disintegrates them. One kick disintegrates them. Like, they go through it pretty easily. Like, they're worse than the Putty Soldiers or the Scuds from VR Troopers. VR Troopers. Never forget. It was better than Power Rangers, in my opinion. Anyways, they take out the mummies, and then, of course, they bump into Kano. And, of course, Kano reveals it just like any Bond villain, just monologues. I had you guys running ragged. Ha, ha, ha. He basically lays out the whole thing. And he's like, you guys didn't know what riff was going to be real, what was going to be fake, and all this other stuff. And about this time, Jax and Sub-Zero show up. They're still fighting them off, but they're outnumbered. However, Liu Kang, Stryker, and Katana show back up. And it turns out that in their communicators, there's also tracking devices. So, turns out, they give Nightwolf the praise he deserves because it's like, hey, buddy, you put the tracking device in there. Good thinking. We shit on your episode, but good thinking here. And so now they're fighting big battle. Kano opens the rift, and something's about to come through. Well, it turns out, Nightwolf throws he shoots his magical, mystical bow and arrow into it. It blocks whatever's about to come out, and then they go ahead and Stryker goes over and seals it up. So at this point, Kano, him and Sonya's fighting. Sonya's getting the better of him. He goes to take his briefcase and run. Nightwolf throws his magical tomahawk at it, destroys the briefcase, but Kano gets away. Of course, the whole time, he's like, this place is rigged to blow. You know all about that, Sonya, baby. And then door shuts, he gets away, and they have to escape the Great Pyramid. And they do escape the Great Pyramid, and it explodes! And we lose one of the 7 wonders of the world. This pyramid just crumbles. It just sinks into the ground or explodes or whatever. It sinks into the ground is what it does. I mean, I guess we're supposed to think it just crumbled from explosion, but the animation was poor, and it just showed the triangle or the pyramid going down. But either way, we just lost a landmark there. And then, of course, as they're all standing around, Nightwolf, they kind of give him an apology, and he's like, it's okay, I'm just glad to know I'm not going crazy. But Sonya still feels bad, because now she feels like she still failed, and Kano got away, and they're trying to reassure her, hey, it's okay. However, as we back out, we realize they're being watched on a magical camera inside Khan's cauldron, I guess. And, of course, he's like, this is only the beginning. I'll get you, Inspector Gadget. He does that whole spiel, right? And that's the end of the episode. I should mention this episode was actually dedicated to, Catherine something Hahn? Not Catherine Hahn, that's a girl from Anchorman. Catherine Wick, maybe? Either way, it was an associate producer who passed away during the production of the show or whatever, and she was the associate producer. So, nice little, nod to her or whatever. So, but, this episode, what I think of it. I liked it. Again, it's just funny that, the villains we got, at one point we had zombies and skeleton mummy things, and then we actually got legit mummies. It's like, my God, the minions just suck in this. That's why Outworld never wins. Their minions are shit. Unless you got, the Shokons or the Satarians, but beyond that, it's like, you guys ain't got shit going on. I guess the giant rock monster, the Clayface monster, they were pretty good. They didn't get jobbed out that quickly, but these mummies were garbage, man. It's like the Mean Street Posse. They sucked. But anyways, but no, overall, I thought the episode was pretty good. The inclusion of Kano was awesome. It is funny that, you know, one of the big complaints was like they didn't have Johnny Cage, which initially I was like, well, he wasn't part of MK3 originally, and I think they were just kind of going for this MK3 thing. But they had Reptile and Baraka, sort of, for both. So I don't know. I guess and the fact that they just kind of retconned Kano's death from the movie, which again, I mean, I guess he was in MK3, so I guess they had to kind of write them. But either way, I feel like you could have brought Johnny Cage back, and who knows if the show would have kept going. If we would have got season 2, maybe Johnny Cage would have come back. I hear that Stryker's attitude and his smart aleck, you know, approach to things was kind of like that was written for Johnny Cage, or it's like kind of this Johnny Cage substitute we got here. Although thus far he hasn't been that wisecracking. Really, the wisecracker of the group is definitely Jax. He's the one who's, you know, he's you know, cracking wise on everyone else. Sorry, I'm trying to think what to say there, and I just kept coming back to cracking wise. A Weisenheimer. There we go. There's an old timey phrase I can use. But anyway, but yeah, so I don't know. Johnny Cage could have been fun. But anyway, yeah, they brought Kano back. I like that. We finally get to see Shao Kahn for the first time. Because at this point, we've just been hearing him, or, you know, hearing of him or whatever. We finally get to see this guy. We see his home base. So things are getting serious for the Defenders. However, at least now they know that they can trust each other and each other's instincts and all that stuff. They can work as a team. And that's what it's all about. Teamwork makes the dream work. Or dream work. Doesn't matter. It's working for them. So there you guys have it. That was this episode 6. Familiar Red. What did you guys think of it? Of course, drop that stuff down below. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for watching, and till next time.